A small monastery sat in the middle of Tibet. With worn blue shingles and a winding road, it lay miles away from the main city and was a quaint little place where monks would learn and teach to children. One day some men from the capital arrived. They told the monks that a very important person was born here, and that they were going to find him and bring him back to the capital. A little boy walked out of the gates and up to the men. The boy's name was Yamo Dandrub. He called the men by name without ever seeing them before, at least in this life. The men proclaimed him the 14th Dalai Lama, and he was thus renamed Yetsun Yampel Guaweng Lobsang Eshe Tenzin Gyatso. Holy Lord, gentle glory, compassionate defender of faith and ocean of wisdom. He was brought back to Lhasa and grew up there as a leader. He was taught many things as he grew up. Philosophy, Buddhist principles, and basic math and literature. However, in 1949, when Tenzin was just 14 years old, the Chinese invaded Tibet. Many Tibetan rebels fought against them and died before the Chinese gained the upper hand in 1950. They didn't wish to annihilate Tibet and had them send representatives to Beijing, where they were shown the 17-point treaty. This treaty was made by China for the safe and successful liberation of Tibet. It included proposals such as, number 1, the Tibetan people shall unite and drive out imperialist and aggressive forces from Tibet. The Tibetan people shall return to the family of the motherland, the People's Republic of China. Number 8. Tibetan troops shall be reorganized step by step into the People's Liberation Army and become a part of the defense force of the People's Republic of China. The Tibetan representatives had little say in signing the agreement, and after doing so were sent back to Tibet. Tenzin struggled peacefully, meanwhile, to free the people of Tibet from China's iron fist, but eventually failed and moved to exile in Dharamsala. In Tibet, the Chinese started extremely harsh treatment of Tibetans. This prompted Tenzin to accuse them of genocide. He appealed to the United Nations on behalf of Tibet and got 3 resolutions passed in which nations called out China and told them to respect the rights of Tibetans as humans. In 1970, he created the Library of Tibetan Works and Archives, which houses over 80,000 Tibetan documents describing politics, religion, and life. It is described as one of the major achievements in preserving the Tibetan people and culture. In 1987, Tenzin Gyatso began to stand internationally for his country in the Congressional Human Rights Caucus at Washington, D.C. In his speech, he outlined how he wanted Tibet as a zone of peace, and how he wanted a nuclear-free world. He further expanded upon this point in Strasbourg, Germany. However, it was denied by the Tibetan government in exile, his government. After that point, the Dalai Lama made many more speeches and religious preachings to try and bring attention to the issues surrounding Tibet. He has written multiple works around the teachings of Buddhism and hopes that by bringing Buddhist ideals and work into the light, he can gain international voices and ultimately free Tibet. He is a catalyst for free thought and expression, and praises a democratic government. Without him, likely nary a soul in the world would know of the tragedy of Tibet, and the spread of Buddhism wouldn't be nearly as large. The Dalai Lama should be remembered as a hero. He has escaped the clutches of a tyrannical government and given his people hope. He has raised the issues of Tibet into international life. But he is not an unreachable status. He is not above what any normal man can do on this earth. You yourself can champion a cause just by following a few key steps. Number 1. Bring attention to your issue by attracting key players, people like celebrities, politicians, and businessmen. Those who can take your word and make it reality. Those who can make their followers yours. Number 2. Stay true to your cause. If people see that you are willing to stick by your issue through thick and thin, they will rally to you. They will think of you as a bulwark, a header for a tower of supporters. Number 3. Hope for the best. Prepare for the worst. Those who build their empire upon shifting sands will soon find their buildings crumbling to dust. Be ready for change. Be ready for challenges to your ideas and your people. Plan ahead for everything so that nothing can catch you off guard, but this does not mean be defensive. Simply be proactive. Be ready for anything. By following these steps, you can make a permanent change in this world where most things are so ephemeral. You can change things. You can make a difference. You just have to try.